Hello viewers, welcome to Newsroom TV. Today in the studio we have Urban Group's pioneer, Leonard Mapfumo. Mr. Mapfumo, welcome to New Zimbabwe TV.
Thank you for inviting me.
Tell us, how has the experience been from the time you started in 2000 up to now?
It's been a good one, considering it's been growth all the way from the beginning when we started off in 1999. It's been an amazing journey in terms of learning, in terms of progress in the music industry, in terms of support coming from the different organizations, the public, the private, and the government. So it's been an amazing journey. It's been learning all the way.
What has changed from maybe what has been the effect of maybe social media to the music scene?
All right. I think the effect that social media has brought to the music industry, mainly entertainment, be it film or music, is that it has given people a leverage, more of an area where people can see your art without the old system where you have to go to TV and radio. Now you can have your own content and put it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram for people to watch. So it is kind of a way brought in new artists. You find people like in America, you find Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy came through social media. It didn't come through the usual old system of entertainment. So it has brought in new artists, it has brought in a new idea of marketing music, it has brought in a new perspective in terms of giving content to people. So it has brought growth, and it's a welcome development.
Okay, it has brought growth, it has given you leverage, but also there are negative impacts.
Yes. They are in everything. In any technology, there is this negative and positives. For instance, when we didn't have CDs and we had tapes, we had music that was coming from DRC that was duplicated as original, but it was fake. When we had CDs, we had people that were burning music from different areas. And when with every technology comes the negatives. I think the negatives of social media is that anyone can get your music, upload it as their own, and get revenue from that. But the positives outweigh the negatives. It's growth. There's nothing that we can do about the negatives that come with social media. But I think the positives outweigh the negatives.
Okay, speaking of people who steal your content and then they upload it as theirs, how do you deal with that?
I think we need to, in Zimbabwe per se, we need to have laws that protect artists. You know, at the moment you find that intellectual law is not really big business, or it's not something that is prioritized. But I think we need the government to come in and help in terms of intellectual property, in terms of protecting the arts and the artist, because you find a product that is being done in Zimbabwe will also be duplicated somewhere else in the world, and we have no right or any claim to say no, this is our original stuff, because our intellectual property is not being protected. So I think the government needs to come in and help protect the artist, because if that is not done, in the next 2 years, the next 30 years, we'll continue having works taken that is not owned by those people and benefiting from them.
Okay, so as an artist, what are you doing? Like, besides having the government come in to protect you, but as an artist, what are you doing to protect yourself?
Well, we've always been trying to come up with innovative ways to try and protect our stuff. Back then when we started, there were CDs. What we did with CDs, we were the first, Sunny and myself, we were the first people to encrypt a CD. But the era of CDs, they passed, you know. So now we are trying to find a way of lobbying the relevant authorities to try and assist us in finding a sustainable way of protecting the rights of an artist. Zimura it's a body that protects artists as well in terms of intellectual property. They've been trying to lobby the government as well to make to take serious the property rights of artists. So in a way, it's not just us trying to do this, but also the bodies that also help in the music industry are also trying to lobby the government to help this, because there's no way that we can have a sustainable system without the government playing part.
Okay, okay, I get it. Your song "My Day" topped the charts for like over 40 weeks.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you as an artist?
It was amazing. I think it's every artist's dream to have a song that goes almost a year on #1. It was a learning period. It was a learning phase, and as well it put more pressure on me in terms of I had to do something that had to surpass that. But I already then learned in the future that you don't need to do anything that surpasses that. You just need to do something that people will listen to.
So in the future, can we expect a song like "My Day" that will top the charts for like a year?
Times have changed. Times have changed. We've got more artists on the playing field. Having a song that would be like "My Day," maybe it will come, maybe it will not. I was given a lesson by Dr. Oliver Mapfumo when I went to see him. He said, "You should never record a song to be a hit. You should record a song is how you want people to listen to it. Because the moment that you try and record hits, you will not release anything. Record and release it. So we cannot then say, okay, I'm going to have another song that's going to be 42 weeks. People determine which song is going to be on the chart for the next 42 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, you spoke of having so many upcoming artists on the scene now, and then there's a feeling that Zim Denso is taking over your scene as urban groove artist, and you've been relegated. What's your take on the issue?
I think saying that it has taken over, it will be, I think, it is not put well. Zim Denso has always been there. Zim Denso was there when Urban Grooves was there. Urban Grooves was an umbrella term of different sounds that were being done: hip hop, R&B, dancehall. The only thing that changed was the Zim part. Dancehall was there. I'll give you an example. Do you remember a person called Mad Boy Kaki? He did dancehall. Do you remember Decibel? He did dancehall. Do you remember Sniper Storm? He did dancehall. There was Cooligan and Calabash. They did dancehall. But it was under an umbrella term that was known as urban grooves, which had hip hop artists, which had major players. They were put under the umbrella term of urban grooves. But right now, if you look at major players' music, it's called hip hop. You see, so to say that it has taken over, I think it has grown from being a shadow genre into something that people appreciate. So I don't think it has taken over. And music, if you look at the history of music, in the 1980s, when people were more urban than Sungura, so they used to call Sungura music music for the SRBs, a strong rural background. But when we entered into the early 90s, Sungura was the biggest sound that was there. People forgot of people like Rosanna Miller that were there in the early 80s. People like Tendai Mfurutsa who were there in the early 80s, and this sound was called the SRB sound. After the Sungura music, people like Fortune Mparusa, who did more of the sound that we were doing, people like Nicholas Somerai, they were sidelined until we came to that point. Then it was called urban grooves. So music has a 10. It will come to a point where Zim Denso will move to the side and something else will come. So to say then another sound is overshadowed another one, that is, I think, it's an overstatement.
Okay, but currently, are they overshadowing you?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Perfect example. Did you attend the Star FM Awards?
No, I did not.
You
I
did.
wasn't able
Did
to.
you read about them?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Who was which genre took the most awards?
I think it was hip hop.
Yeah, you
With
put it in
XQ.
this. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't Zim Denso artist.
Yes.
What does that say to you?
Okay. I think for the awards, it will be different.
No, it's not different. No, it's different. Awards are given in terms of popularity, in terms of what people are appreciating now. Yeah. So that's the reason we award someone. It's a merit to say that you have achieved this because people have seen it fit for you to achieve this.
Okay.
So which means it's a merit. right? So which means it's by popularity. Yeah. So what does that mean to you?
Okay, I still think maybe they're overshadowing you guys in some way. Because I think before, maybe in the 2000s,
Yes.
we had your songs playing. We had My Day, we had Seiko, and now it's Enzo Ishao. There's Just Signal, there's Bazooka and the likes. They're constantly on the radio, and they are more popular in the streets now.
That's true.
Despite you guys getting the awards, but they are more popular in the streets.
That is true. That is true, because they're releasing. When was the last time we had Leonard Mapfumo releasing a song?
It's been a while.
Exactly. When was the last time Rocky released a song?
It's been a while too.
For there to be a race, there need to be two horses.
Okay.
Then you say, okay, the white horse has outrun the black horse. But if there's one horse running,
okay, so you're not in a race with them.
we are not in a race because we haven't released anything in a while.
You're doing things at your own pace, and
Yes.
they're doing things at their own
exactly.
pace.
For
Okay,
there
I
to be
get
a race,
it
there
now.
need to be two horses.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, I get it now. So, what do you think will help you guys achieve the fame that you had in the yesteryear, the fame that you had when you guys emerged as urban groups pioneers?
That's an interesting question. It then depends on what one wants to achieve. My main target and goal right now is to try and help young and upcoming artists. I am not very interested in being in the limelight, like being the #1 person. No. I've got, like you highlighted before, I've got over 6 artists that are signed to my label. My first priority is to make sure that these people are #1.
Okay, do you care to share the names of the artists?
All right. I'll go back to when I started this project. I started this project in 2008 under the label Heshin Fish. My first signings were people like Shinsoman, Yours, Yaka, Taurai Mandevu, a young lady called Rutendo that I did the song Tuchere with. Then in 2013 I then closed the studio. 2014 I opened a new studio called JCMC. JCMC, we signed artists such as Nyasha David, Fusion 5 Manguiro, those guys Vacho, and Tafara. And of these artists, Fusion 5 Manguiro, they were part of the 100 artists that were chosen for the Empower competition that was done all over Africa. Tafara, with Union 5, was in Cape Town. He was one of the top 10 artists that were chosen all over Africa for...
Union 5 is the beatboxer.
Exactly, the beatboxer.
Okay.
Yeah. Then those guys were actually, they're a group from MSU. We came through the program Dreamstar. Then Nyasha David. Nyasha David was our first signing. He's released a couple of tracks. Some of them are playing on Star FM. He's done a collaboration with a group from Jamaica. I don't know if you know Morgan Heritage. He's done a collaboration with Morgan Heritage. In June, he's supposed to go to America to shoot a video with them. So these are my priorities, to make sure that these guys become stars.
Okay. Yeah. So do we still have urban groups artists, upcoming artists, or now everyone is singing hip hop and some dancehall and the likes?
Like I highlighted, urban groups was a term that was put for different genres. So to then say, are there any urban groups artists? I'll say yes. Enzo Asho is urban groups.
Interesting.
Yeah, so is Sniper Storm. Does Sniper Storm and Enzo Asho do the same sound?
No.
They do dancehall. They do Zim dancehall, what you call Zim dancehall. They do the same sound. So if Sniper Storm was urban grooves, so is Enzo Asho. So if Major Players was urban grooves, so is MMT.
Okay.
Yeah. So if Nyasha David is R&B now, and Trevor Dong was urban grooves, so which means Nyasha David is urban grooves. So to then say, is it still alive? Yes, it is alive, but it's only now put in the right genres.
Okay. You mentioned that Zim Dancehall is almost like a part of urban grooves.
Yes.
So since there is Zim Dancehall, but it is a part of urban grooves. It was more like a type of urban grooves. Then what was the genre? Was it trap or it was soul?
It was hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the pinnacle of your music career?
The pinnacle of my music career. I think it was. Let me think. Was I've had a lot of. I think it was the 100%, the introduction of 100% music. When we came into the music scene, it was before the 100% local introduction. When then the sound was introduced to 100%, I think I would say that was the pinnacle of my music career, because that's when everyone then started paying attention to what we were doing. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I would say that.
Okay, you said you were part of both Chigutiro and Chamembe.
Yes.
But you were more of Chamembe.
Yes.
Where is that group now?
Where's Chamembe? Chamembe is everywhere now. You find people like Rocky. They are not releasing as much, but they release here and there. You find people like Extra Large, myself, XQ. These are people that were formerly from Chamembe. So Chamembe is everywhere. People have ventured into different areas, different music, different types of jobs and whatnot. So it's out there, but yeah.
So can we expect a comeback from the group?
That's a hard question. That's a hard question. A comeback, I don't think so. But I think we have a lot of people releasing music, a lot from Chamembe. Maskiri is now based in South Africa, and he's planning on releasing a couple of tracks. Myself, this year I'm going to release I think about 3 tracks and a video. Rocky is going to release a couple of tracks. XQ as well, has always been releasing music. So yeah, we have a lot of releases from Chamembe, but to say that that collaboration will come together, I don't think so.
Why?
People have grown, and people are doing different things now, and to then bring that whole crew together, I don't see it happening.
So do you miss those times when you had Maskiri and the other guys coming together and then you guys work on something?
Yes, I do. It was an amazing time. It was we were doing what we loved doing. When we had a group, we were from different backgrounds, different communities, but we came together. The one thing that brought us together was the music, and we became brothers. But after a time, everybody went on to pursue their own dreams. And yeah, I miss those days. It would be great to have one day that we all meet and maybe just reminisce on the times that we were Chamembe.
So have you guys ever considered having a comeback or a regroup?
Never. We've never.
Okay.
We've never, yeah. It's been a while, but we've never spoken about it.
Okay, let's move to the film.
Yes.
You were starring in the soapy series, Kuchina, the Genesis.
Yes.
Did you exit or you just took a break from the TV?
I took a break because I had more commitments. I had a lot of things that I was committed to. I had the Dreamstar project. I've got the culture exchange program that we do between Zimbabwe and China. So I had a lot of commitments that I had put in my table, so I had to drop a couple and concentrate on some. So I just took a back seat. But yeah, hopefully soon I'll be back in the series.
Okay, that's good. You're an activist for children and for you are against AIDS discrimination.
Yes.
What motivated you to venture into this?
When I was very young, I had a cousin of mine who died from HIV and AIDS. When I was in high school, I had a young lady, her name was Sabina. Back then we had social welfare that used to pay school fees for these kids. But back then, you know, she would come to school one day and the next day she wouldn't come to school. So I made a decision then that when I grow up, I didn't know that I was going to become a full-time musician. I would want to assist young people that cannot afford school fees, that cannot afford to go to school. I always wanted to say something about the issues of HIV and AIDS and the discrimination, because stigma was one thing that that I saw as a young person. People didn't want to speak to my relative who was affected by the issues of HIV and AIDS. So it was something that I always wanted to speak about, but I was very young, but I didn't know how to. But I made a realization then that I wanted to address this when I grow up.
So your decision was influenced by personal experiences?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, viewers. My name is Paidasha Manduengerei.